Pennsylvania wasn't just a vacation, it felt like stepping out of time. Being 2 hours ahead sounds like such a small thing until you're like living in it. My body didn't really know what 8 p.m. is when it feels like 6 p.m. back home. I caught myself consistently translating the clock. The sun feels different, dinner feels different, your rhythm feels different. It just like made me realize how much of our lives revolve around time and when maybe it isn't actually the thing that's guiding us. The 4 days that I was there, I wasn't a mom waking up with kids. I wasn't thinking about work. I wasn't checking the next thing off my list. I was just literally existing. Melissa welcomed me into her home like I always belonged there. I like slept in her childhood bedroom, surrounded by little pieces of her story. She showed me this old closet door where teenage Melissa and her current husband Jay had left little notes to each other years ago. It wasn't just a door, it was proof that some moments deserve to be carried with you forever. I even told her if she ever builds that cabin on her property that her and her husband own, that the door has to like literally come with her. And some things become part of the foundation of who we actually are. Pennsylvania itself just slowed me down. The roads disappeared beneath tunnels of trees. Bright sunlight would suddenly give way to these dark, dense forests where everything felt quiet and alive at the same time. I wasn't driving, so I actually just got to sit and just look, observe, to notice. The green, the humidity, the butterflies, the fireflies, the frogs late at night in the pond, the sound of rain pounding on the tent while I slept better than I ever have in a long time. A real wood fire burning every night, all throughout the day. It reminded me of how much peace exists when no one is rushing around. Then my flight got canceled on the last day that I was there. Old me probably would have spiraled. This version of me, I just kind of shrugged and thought, okay, I guess I'm staying another day. Instead of frustration, it became another unexpected gift, another slow day, another conversation, another reminder that not everything inconvenient is actually bad. Eventually, I made my way home. It was like about a 15-hour journey, like airports, delays, crowds, noise, people carrying every kind of energy imaginable. I could feel how much my nervous system had settled because all of that suddenly felt so loud and in my face. It was hard to not pay attention. Then I landed in Denver super late at night. I walked outside and immediately I could feel the dry Colorado air hit my face. I took the top off my Bronco, turned the music up, and I drove home without my GPS because home like lives in my body. I didn't need directions or a sense of like where I was going or what time I would be arriving. And then that's when something shifted. The synchronicities didn't just stay in Pennsylvania, they like literally followed me home. They actually got really loud. I had a sound bath that I performed and held space for. It felt so much different than the first one I did. My son turned 7 on the 29th, and I found myself grieving like the little boy and what he was leaving behind, but also celebrated the incredible human that he's becoming. I wrote him a letter promising that his feelings would always matter to me. And when I showed him the video, he cried. Not because he was sad, but because he felt loved. Watching my child feel safe enough to be emotional might have been one of the greatest gifts I ever have received. Then my mom sent me a memory from her camera reel from July 29th, 2017. It was the exact day, the same day that picture was taken. And the picture was when I had chosen my wedding dress. The same calendar day my firstborn would celebrate turning 7 years old. Maybe coincidence, maybe not. Either way, it made me pause. Then Kyler handed me a butterfly that he had made at school and another butterfly after weeks of yellow butterflies showing up in the most unexpected places. At some point, I stopped asking if there were signs. The signs, I feel like, aren't really the point. The point is that I've slowed down enough to notice them. Work feels different too. I'm reacting less, observing more. I'm learning that I don't have to decide how I feel in the first 5 minutes. I can experience something before forming an opinion or a perception. I can let people be exactly who they are while protecting my own peace. Had conversations with a really good friend, Kelly, who called me during my lunch break, and it's always nice to hear her voice. And conversations with Patricia reminding me that like healing like really isn't a race. Sometimes I'm really incredibly proud of the woman that I am becoming. Sometimes I'm angry that there's work to do in the first place. Both can be true. Healing isn't choosing one emotion, it's making room for all of the emotions. And I think that's what Pennsylvania gave me. Not answers or anything, just space. Space to breathe, space to rest, space to remember that life isn't measured by productivity or how many things I can accomplish before bedtime. Sometimes the most meaningful things that I can do is just sit around a fire, sleep through the rainstorm, laugh until your stomach hurts, stay in your pajamas, miss a flight, notice a butterfly, hold my son's heart gently, and just trust that I don't have to force my path. I just have to stay awake enough to notice it's literally unfolding.